Okay, good morning, good morning. Today is May 21st. You know, we're almost out this month. It's hard to believe. It's hard to believe that the year has gone so quickly into where we are now. The pandemic certainly has changed how we might be feeling, where we're at, how comfortable we are, and the people that we become, and it sounds like some of us have encountered some different things while we're under quarantine. One of the things that has concerned me is having been a counselor. I know that if you have no escape and you're in a position of abuse, then that's a concern. So, I'm certainly saying if anybody ever comes into this space, I'm hoping that you can reach out to me, and I, certainly can refer you to some resources. But good morning, Cassandra. How are you? But the point is that we just know that the way life is now, it's going to be different even going forward. So today I'm hoping that I'm going to help you with the unknown. That's what we're going to talk about today. My name is Sandy Winborn, and I'm going to ask you the question early. I'm going to ask it again, but I'm going to start with, are you stuck? Yes, we are all stuck. We're stuck for whatever the reason, and it's not just the pandemic that has us stuck. Some of us are stuck for many other reasons. I always say relationships and the job and decisions we've made or the decisions that we need to make. All those things certainly address the fact that we could be stuck. But I woke up this morning with the idea that I really wanted to talk about the unknown. The unknown can be extremely scary. We don't know what the unknown could be doing to us, but the unknown can mess with us, because we could be fearful of it. Some of us are excited to go into the unknown. Some of us get antsy. We're timid about it. It's like when you go to the pool, you want to test to put your foot in the water to see how cold it is. And sometimes we don't always know what the unknown may be doing to us or possibly could do for us, but we still have to make that. Good morning, Twan. We have to make that decision of going forward if we want to even try it, because it may be very frightening, maybe very scary for what the unknown could be doing. And so I thought about it this morning, and I said, well, the unknown just really poses some concern for us. And, when we start, I didn't do a poem per se this morning, but what I wanted to talk about is what, counselors sometimes do. Good morning, Shirley. Is they end up talking about what could be, And so I went on the internet and I found this man. His name is Joseph Trotten, and he's a visionary entrepreneur. And when somebody says they're visionary, that means that they're looking at things and it's based on their experience. And we're going to talk about that when we go down into the unknown. But it's talking about things that they have come up with. And there was something that he discovered. Good morning, Lavenda. He discovered this thing called the Johari window. And it's a window about self. And sometimes we don't know ourselves. We don't know ourselves at all. And so it says it's broken down into four parts. Now I'm going to give you the four parts, and maybe we'll go back and discuss them in detail. We're going to go initially all I want to get down is to the last one, but I'm going to give you all the four parts that they stipulate. Good morning, Tabitha. The stipulation, it says that there is the open self. That's the person and it says it says what you know about you and what others know about you. That is the open self. That means these are the things you let people know about you, and they know about you because you've revealed it or they can see it. The other one it talks about is the hidden self. And the hidden self, it says what you know about you, that you choose to not let others see about you. I'll repeat that again. The hidden self is what you know about you that you choose not to let others see about you. A lot of people that are probably quiet, they probably do some things that other people don't know they ever did, or they're just quiet people. They're just not interested in letting you know anything about them. And all of us must have a hidden side. I don't care who we are. We got a hidden side. Period. We have an open side, we have a hidden side. Then it talks about the blind side. Let's talk a minute about blind side. It says the blind side is what you don't know about yourself that others can see. Did you hear me? They see it. You don't know it, but they see it. They see it that you pander to people. They see that you give more away than you get back. They see that you're not honest as you should be with yourself, but you give everything away to other people to make that your honesty is more with them than it is to yourself. Okay? So I love that. The blind self. And then the last one is the unknown self. And this is the unknown self is what nobody knows about you yet. That's the unknown self. But that also could be the person that you are, but you never discovered to go out and find out who you are. That's the unknown self. That's unknown. You don't know. You never discovered it. I'm constantly talking about going to the basement. I'm constantly talking about these things called multiple intelligences, meaning not just IQ stuff, but what else can you do? Can you write? Can you sing? Can you teach dance? Can you do public speaking? Can you do math that you never knew you had a real knack for? Are you a teacher? All those things speak to the unknown self if you've never tried them. You never put yourself in that position. You never allowed yourself to be more than what you currently are. I'm trying to push you. That's what, by the way, my name is Sandy Winborn, and I'm going to push you if you let me. I want you to be pushed. I want you to discover your unknowns. So when we talk about the unknown obviously means that it's never been done. You don't know what it's all about because you never tried it, you never investigated it, you never looked into it. You knew it existed, probably for somebody else. You watched other people and said, boy, I wish I could do that. Try it. I bet you can. And the other thing is usually if the love of the heart meets the love of the head, sometimes, even if you can't do it to the best of the ability that others do it, doesn't matter. The fact is that you're rolling in it. You're in it. You're involved in it. It's a part of you. That makes it a good thing. So anyway, let's break the word down, and let's start with you, and that's talking about your uncharted, not shown. It's not on the map. You never did it before. It's unexpected. It said it's unexplored, undiscovered, untraveled. Those are all the things. Not only does it speak to the unknown, but it speaks to the fact that it was unexplored, it was undiscovered, it's just an you never did it. You never did it. So we're going to talk about that uncharted when we go to our questions. The next word on our list for unknown is the N letter, and that's for novice. A novice is someone that basically it's self-discovery. It's a new field, never did it before. When I worked for the Department of Transportation in New York, I was the head of the program working in the Minority Business Enterprise Office, and I used to place the number of hours in multi-million-dollar contracts for the sole purpose of getting, representation in terms of women and minorities, or basically, undershown individuals in up on the surveys and the charts that they had that said you got all this money, but did you give it to equally to other people? Well, it was not an equal thing. The process was difficult, but I would go out and I'd actually do a review of their sites to see what had happened, wear my hard hat and my hard shoes, and go on out there. But the thing is that we called anybody that was new to that area of construction, we called them greenhorns. I had never heard that before, but when I first started, I was a greenhorn, understanding that they were teaching me stuff that I didn't know. That's what a greenhorn is. So it's a newcomer. It's going to be a beginner. It's going to be a learner. So, how novice are you about what you've not tried? Probably very novice, very much so. The next word for in the letter is K. We're talking about keen, which is an intense sharp. It's someone's intense sharpness and focus. That they're real keen on something. Sometimes you can't fool children. You think you can, and they know what you're doing. They know how it's done. They figure it out. But anyway, talks about being keen. It's to be acute, to be sharpened, to be honed. And we talked about hone the other day. To be penetrating, to be discerning. It's like they're going to seek it out. They know what it is. They're going to figure it out. That's keen. That's keenness. And so we're going to ask about your keenness later. And then the next word is the N. For the N is nurture. It says they take careful. It says they take care of or feed others. What I want you to do is ask about feeding yourself. How do you get your encouragement? How do you realize that you need to pull yourself up? How do you do it? How do you know are you taking care of yourself properly? You don't know unless you do it. Good morning, Belinda. Good morning, Gloria. So if you don't know these things, you got to try it. You got to get into it. You got to figure out what it is. But it's all self-promotion. It's self-fostering. It's self-bringing up. It's self-encouragement. And sometimes we don't always do that. We do that. We can encourage other people day in, day out. Good morning, Joan. Encourage them all the time, but we can't encourage ourselves. But the song says sometimes you have to encourage yourself. You can't even wait for anybody else to do it because they're not going to do it. They're too busy encouraging themselves. We just didn't learn how to do it. And so here we go. The next word in our word of unknown is own. It says, really belonging to oneself or itself. It's possessive. What do you possess? It's mastery over something. It's power over something. It's true. It's valid. And when I think of something, when we talk about own, you have to really sit down and write down, what do you really own? And because if you give away the thing that you really own, which is your own life, your own thinking, your own way of doing things, if you constantly give that away, then they're not your own. And when you're constantly giving yourself to people, they give nothing back. When you're constantly thinking out of the box for other people, your ideas, your plans for them and everything, and you don't do anything coming back. Good morning, Jean. You don't do anything for yourself. Nothing. Okay? So you have to talk about, what do I own? What do I own? What is mine? Your mind is yours if you use it and bring it back in to yourself. I'm talking about reeling. Sometimes we have to reel stuff back in order to realize all the good stuff we have. But if we constantly give everything away, then what can we do with it? It's gone. We gave it away. And people expect you to give them what you've been giving them all along. In fact, I was talking to somebody one day and they said, I give so much away. And then I tried to, assert myself and say, well, I want to. They told them, that's okay. Never mind. You've been doing it all this time. We'll continue to do the same. And see, sometimes when we've given away what is it's our right and it's our power, then we really have done something wrong. We've really gone, good morning, Volta. We've really gone amok. We've gone awry. We've gone left and should have gone right. We didn't go up because we constantly gave and gave and gave. And guess what? When you give stuff away, people gonna take it unless it's no good. But for the most part, if you're giving money, if you're giving your time, if you're giving your creativity, guess what? They want it. They're going to take it. So you have to talk about what's yours. What can I hold to myself? The way you think, Good morning, Takara. The way you think, the way you constantly doing things, those are yours. But if you give it away to let other people make decisions for you, tell you where you're going to go, where you're going to sit, how much you're going to eat, how much you weigh, what color you should wear today, I'm just saying. You don't own those things if you're giving them away. Take them back. Own what you own. And tell them, that's where it used to be, and put your name in it. I made a change. Sandy's made a change. Valda's made a change. Takara's made a change. Gloria's made a change. We made a change. We're not doing that, And sometimes we don't even realize that we're victims of it until you have what I call these sessions where somebody's saying and they're asking you the questions. And sometimes unless you go back down into your treasury, into your little box, you don't know what you've given away. Because it became habitual. It became, so real to you that it's almost like walking, talking, well, yeah, so-and-so going to do that for me. Well, to me, I don't want everybody to do everything for me where it ultimately ends up that I can't do anything for myself. I need you to be independent thinkers, independent doers, and independent life livers. Live your life independently. Make a decision, stick to it. You are who you are. You can't be who other people want you to be and be happy. We talked about happiness yesterday. To be happy and be content, then you have to deal with your unknown. And your unknown is saying, I haven't done that before, but I'm getting ready to take it back and do it myself. I'm getting ready to create something for myself instead of creating for you. I don't have time to do that. That's ownership. I don't have time. No, I can't do that. And a lot of times to say no to other people means who she thinks she is, who he think he is. To say own comes back to knowing who you are. No, you own it. No, I won't do that. I'm going to do this. Okay. They can share in it, if you want them to, if you got a place for them, but it's yours. You created it. Good morning, Rosie. You want to get to the point where you know you, and therefore standing on what you believe in, standing on what is yours is vital. It's vital going forward. The next word in unknown is W. The letter is W and the word is wise. How wise can we be? It says wise is having great understanding of people and situations. Sometimes we are the most unwise people we know. We are unwise, and, I always used to tell young people when they would talk about how they had this group and that group and I said, okay, are they smart group of people? Are you making good plans? Because if they're making plans for you and you're just joining in as a part of the cohort, come on now, and are the plans really taking you into consideration, or it's taking the group into consideration? Sometimes, good morning, Lawson, sometimes you just have to realize that you have to make a change that makes sense, And so I personally need to hang around with wise people because I try to do my best to be my wisest all the time. Not the funny cracking wise. No, good morning. None of that. It says wise is to be sound judgment. I want to be sound in my judgment. I don't want to make crazy things over and over again. The other thing is that I love to be in the presence of older people because they are wise. They've been through something. Experience is wise. Being bright, being brilliant, having wisdom. Time gives people wisdom. Okay? And it says it's a great learning opportunity when you're wise because you've learned something and you stand on what you've learned. You're a student. Basically, you're a pupil. I'm constantly always living my life as when I get up today, I'm going to learn something that I did not know when I went to sleep last night. I always work under that premise. Always. And to me, that's a way forward. That's an earnest way to talk about how exciting it is to deal with the unknown. Because if you're learning something, you didn't know it before. But to learn it makes it a part of your makeup, a part of your how you think, a part of how you may act. So therefore you're adding back to this tree that you're in, the substance that you're a part of. You're adding to it. Makes it exciting. And it says it also talks about there's a wide amount of experience, and it also talks about it is quick-witted. Like sometimes you can talk to someone that you know how smart they are. Good morning, Deborah. You know how smart they are, but what gets you is the fact that they can deliver it quick to you. Before you know it, you've been told off, or you've been told up, or you've been. But when you think about what they said, it's good stuff. It is good stuff. Sometimes I used to write down things that my mother would say or my grandmother would say, because if you really want to learn something, and I don't know how old many of you are that are out there, but what I can say is from the experience that's above you, the experience that's over here and over there as part of your lineage, to your siblings, to the people above you. Siblings, a lot of times, even if they're older than you, they're going to teach you something. Because I had 9 above me. And trust me, I never became a drinker. I never became someone who dealt with drugs and those kinds of things. But I never condemned them in any way. I was younger than them, so I didn't know. But what I did know is that what it did to them, I didn't want. And sometimes you have to talk about what you see on a linear level, be it we're connected as siblings, but also what's above us, our parents, our grandparents, our great-grandparents. If any of you have ever, dug into Ancestry.com and dug up some of the information on your family, you'll find some interesting stuff. Like for me, I know that 4 generations back, we were enslaved. I guess they would have a something to say about me now. Only thing they probably say is that she does wear a scarf like we used to do out in the field. But other than that, they would probably be surprised because they were denied what I took every single opportunity to do. I went to the uncharted waters. I was a novice. I was keen. I was looking at, nurturing myself, finding somebody that could nurture me. Because to me, if you're passing all this information over or down, they can't do anything but learn it if they're listening. Okay? Because if you have a good role model, there's no reason for you not to model after that role. No reason. Nothing. But sometimes it happens. When you can raise children. You can, and they still go where they want to go. That's personality. You can't change personality because sometimes, it's just like they have to go their own way. Have to. That's like the person that raised somebody and didn't realize that they were murderers. Didn't realize it. But it was something embedded in their brain as to what they chose to do, what excited them, what motivated them. You didn't have the same excitement or motivation because it was not you. We have to also talk about who are we, So when we have things that we know we've passed on in a good way, that's wonderful. But sometimes we have to own up to the fact is that, just our DNA, and it could have been it was passed down or it skipped a generation or two and it came into your child or your cousin or your the father, the uncle on your father's side, 2 generations back. You don't know. You just don't know what you're going to get. But what I say is put something in so other people can see and get something out. That to me would make it a very wise union. And the last letter in unknown is N for natural. And to me, I love this because it talked about natural, being in agreement with yourself, because it's character makeup. It's going to be the circumstances with someone or yourself and what you do with it, and it's not man-made. To be natural is not man-made. It's you made. It's me made. That would be natural. When you decide that, I'm not going to do that. That's not a part of me. That's your natural way of doing things. Some people, you can look at them and they have natural beauty. You can look at them in their facial structures, their features, whatever. That's their natural. Some people don't wear makeup. That's their natural. Some men, you see them with or without a beard, they're still chiseled and handsome. Or it might be the physique that they have. That was a natural given. They do something to keep it up, such as they know the routine. It might be for the face. It's just soap and water and Vaseline. That was Lily, my mother. And that's what I wear. That's my routine. Soap, water, Vaseline. Good morning, Tyra. So you really want to really talk about what it is that you do that makes it as natural as possible to live your life. Where it's not complicated. Quit complicating yourself with being unnatural, being in a position of what I call lying down, being walked on or walked over. Be your natural self, know who you are, and be ready to navigate a system. Good morning, T. You want to navigate the system of whatever your system is. So getting to my questions, and I'll go back over this for those who came in later. Incidentally, I'm hoping that all of you, everyone that stops by, will certainly share this video. And I do have a YouTube station that I try to channel, and I try to go in and put the each of these sessions that I have on Are You Stuck? And Are You Stuck? I try to get that information up every night so that you can see that they have a running theme. The theme is Are You Stuck? But then it's really looking at what we can pull apart and go in and look at. But since we were talking about unknown today, I have a few questions for you. The first question is, are you willing to go into your uncharted areas of your life? Finding new directions. Can you? Can you do it? Don't know. Let's see. Question number 2. Can you be freely a novice of self-discovery? Freely. Like, I'm going to try something I never did before. I'm going to skydive. I'm not. I'm just giving you that as somebody that might be a novice and want to do it. But maybe somebody wants to skydive. Maybe somebody wants to learn how to, fly a plane. Still up in the air for me, not doing it. But basically, what is it that you want to do? Would you like to, write a book? Do it. That would be a novice doing something freely of self-discovery. Can you start today? Oh, please do. Okay, the next thing is, how keen and sharp are you on what is for you? Not for your friends, not for your parents, not for your siblings, not for your children. What is for you? Once again, because we are in our basements and we have so much stuff over us, so much clutter. I think my professor always used to call it superfluous bull. He used to lay on the desk when we go in the room. I got an A from him because everything he did I thought was funny, and that's all he was. He was a comedian. But anyway, his name was Dr. McGuire. Didn't work a day in his life, but made a lot of money, being a full professor. They couldn't even fire him, but he never worked. But the point I'm making is that he made it funny, and he found out something that people would laugh about, and they had to come to his class, and we knew it was an easy A. So that A I got easy, but he was a keen person. He was very sharp, very, very, very sharp man. So anyway, are you keen? Are you sharp? And can you do it for yourself? Are you a novice? I don't know. Can you find new direction for yourself? All those are questions. I hope you have pen and paper too. Okay, the question number 4. How nurturing our view of others. Now, you know I put the others first because a lot of times we're more nurturing of others than we are to ourselves. So now I'm going to follow up that more so. How nurturing of you are you for yourself? Nurturing. Do you take care of yourself? Do you get rest at night? Do you get exercise during the day? Do you eat the proper foods that can keep your body, in good shape, your mind in good shape? That would be the person that's nurturing. You're not nurturing just to others, you're nurturing to yourself. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being nurturing to others, because I know that I nurture others. But I'm talking about yourself today. The next question is, how much of you do you own? And I talked about this a few minutes ago. If you give everything away, what do you have left for yourself? What do you own? It's not just property. I know people get caught up on possession in terms of property, things that we own, like the house, the car. And you see in divorces that's where people split, on who owns what. Well, if I can get out of the marriage, unscathed, for me personally, I probably don't care about what I take with me. I just know I'm out. That would be me. That would be me. But some people, it's different. The possessions, the worldly possessions, are so important. To me, what's important as I get older, once again, the wise, is how well I'm thinking, how well I'm moving, how well I'm eating, how well I'm living, how well I'm always looking at my physical, mental, and emotional, spiritual wellness. That's what I look at. That's what's important to me. The possessions, the house, and all of that, yeah, it's worth something. I'm not going to say it isn't. It's worth something. But it can't override the me that I own. If something happened and I came back and the house was burned to the ground, well, then I deal with the insurance company to rebuild, because I have to have a place to live. But the point I'm making is that to own yourself is priceless. You can't do anything else. If a marriage fails, or the house burns, or the children leave, but you can do everything with who you are. Making decisions, and you're still thinking well, eating well, living well, feeling well. All those things are good, and they are self-nurturing things. Self-nurturing. Like some people tell me that every morning they get up, they have a routine. I'm going to tell you what my routine is. When I get up, and I probably prayed before I even get out the bed. But then I get up and I shower, I do my little scarves and all that kind of stuff. And then I get dressed, because, I just have to do it that way. And then I make sure, this is no lie. Of course, I have to take the dog out. Let him out, and then I bring him back in and everything, and give him a snack so he won't be bugging me during this little 30-40 minutes that I'm with you. But then I also make myself a cup of coffee. I put on whatever outfit I want. I get dressed up like I'm going out every single day, okay, unless I'm sick. Every single day I am dressed. I am not in pajamas. I am not in sweats all the time. Just in case I have to leave quickly, I'm all ready to go. But that's just me. But that was my mother, and I think I told you a little bit about how every day she acted like she had a job. That's how I treat myself. And then, of course, I go over my lesson, my message for the day that I'm going to bring you. And I sit a minute, have a cup of coffee, and then I go live. But that's my routine. That is my routine. But I act every day like I treat this to meet you here like it's my job. You didn't assign me to it, but I'm going to tell you something. I love it. I love it because it also helps me. It gives me a purpose. And I think the other day I talked about the purpose and the stance. All those things are important. Having a way about you, having an understanding of who you are, having the knowledge that you own yourself is right. It's just good. It's just good. The next question is how wise are you in determining your future? How wise? And if you're not wise, go find some wise people. Not the wise people that are basically telling you that what you've done, they're critical about. No. You want somebody wise enough to say, baby, or this is what I did. Because a lot of times the wise isn't necessarily telling you what you need to do for yourself. They're telling you what they did for themselves. Listen to them. Listen to them. They got a plan. And sometimes you never know, because even though in the times of where this period of what they said could be a modern day, depression, people still are able to take the dollar and break it down where they still have 20 cents of the dollar that they were given, And I'm hoping that the $1,200 that they gave you, that you're not throwing it away. I tell everybody that, because next year you will be paying taxes on it, because they see it as your increase. Basically they're going to say that you made $1,200, or if you had children, $1,700, or depending on the number of the children, times $500. So there you go. But understand, they consider that as income to your house. So therefore, I would make it work for me and not against me. I would utilize it properly. And certainly, Deborah, that's right. Encourage and be nurturing to you. And so that talks about your wiseness for your future. And the last question is, are you a natural personality? Are you natural about what you do? Are you comfortable about what you wear, what you eat, how you look, where you go, what you do? All those things say you're in control of who you are. And that's your natural. That is your natural. Maybe the what you put on your skin, how you wear your hair, all those things. All those things get down to who you are. Not who I am, who you are. So that is my stuff on today. I tell you, I'm loving this. And I appreciate that I still see many of you in the space with me. So the Lord is certainly touching my heart that that he gave the voice to someone to dare me. I went with it, and here I am. So this is a great opportunity. So in going back over, for those who came late, it talks about the idea of self and understanding that there are 4 selves. And it talks about the first self, and this was by Johari Window. And it's called it's a theoretical model of self, yourself. Okay? Because a lot of times we don't even know, but it says there's 4 different parts. The first one is the open self, and that's the one that, about you, that others know about you. Then there's the hidden self, and it says what you know about you that you choose to let others know about you. Then there's the blind self, what you don't know about yourself that others can see. Wow. That's potent right there. That's heavy. Because a lot of times we are blindsided by what others see, because we've done it so long. It's become our habit. It's become our way forward with them, and they use it to their advantage, and it's our disadvantage because, once again, we don't take our personal assessment. So I'm telling you, pay attention to that. And then the last one is the unknown self, which is what we were talking about, the unknown self today. Unknown. It says what nobody knows about you, including you. Yet. Okay, because they do have yet in parentheses. So what I'm saying to you is, we all have all of that. We have things that we expose, we have things that we don't expose. We have things that we know, we have things that we don't know. We have things that people see and things that we know nothing about, but they see it. They see it. And then, of course, there's the unknown that nobody knows anything. And that's the person that we've yet to discover. We've yet to discover that person. So anyway, so we talk about the unknown, and we broke it down according to the letters in the word of unknown. So then we talked about being uncharted, not it's not even on your map. So I'm telling you, I challenge you to go someplace you haven't gone before. It could be in your mind. It could be on paper. It could be a plan that you're going to do once we get out of quarantine. Then we want to talk about the novice. That's once again, that's the person that they're learners, they're pupils, they're newcomers. That's what you want to be on something you need to learn, a novice. Then you want to be keen, sharp, focused. That means it's going to be on you. You're going to be penetrating with it. You're going to hone it. You're going to make it your own. And it's going to be acute. And you're going to sharpen it up. Meaning, that's who you are. You're moving on. You're moving forward. You're moving up. Okay, then it talks about nurturing. Not just others. Because I didn't say there's anything wrong with that. I need you to nurture yourself. Okay? And nurturing is that you're going to bring up yourself. You're going to take care of yourself. You're going to promote yourself. And you're going to foster yourself. You know how they talk about fostering other, children or other people, if they're elderly or whatever. In this case, they're talking about fostering yourself. And then, of course, the big word, encouragement. Encouraging yourself. Sometimes you just have to encourage yourself. That song is by Donna Lawrence. Go to YouTube and listen to it. It's good stuff. And then the other word under is own. And owning means, I'm not just talking possessions of things like houses and cars, and clothes and shoes and hats and gloves and, the best pipes in the world or whatever, a Lamborghini. I'm not talking about any of that. I'm talking about what do you personally own? What's in your head? What's in your heart? What's in your body? Those kinds of things. Those things that really can propel you forward. Because then you can look at the house and the car and all those things of possession, and you can have, a determination as to what happens to them. Okay? Or what doesn't happen to them. But the point I'm making is it's more about the personal you. Who are you in regards to what you truly, truly own? The next word is wise. How wise are you? And if you're not wise, find some wise people. And when I say wise, I mean these people know more than you. They've lived longer than you. They have greater experience. They have greater understanding. And they're not necessarily telling you to not do what you're doing. They're just going to tell you what they did. And you can see the results, that they've gotten older, meaning they were granted the years to still be here. They weren't miserable, They're comfortable in who they are. They're comfortable in their surroundings. And they speak up for themselves because they're going to tell you, okay, baby, this is what I did. Okay, and those are wise people. And those are people certainly that should be a part of your world. And then the last thing, it talks about the natural, just being natural. And that is with, how you look, how you walk, how you talk. Good morning, Eldon. How you look, how you walk, how you talk, how you constantly do your thing. You don't need anybody else to tell you what to do, but it's just your way. Like I think they call it swag. It's your swag, it's your sassiness, it's your way. Everybody just knows that's the way she does it. That's the way he does it. No problem. The point is that you have your own way, which is your natural, not someone else's unnatural. It's your natural of going forward. I don't want anybody to say I said something and probably the me I know would say, I'd never say that. All right. And that happened to me once at my job. Someone had come up with some cockamamie story and said I did something that did not happen. And I was devastated. I was devastated for the point that people I didn't know meanness existed like that. I mean, I knew that, jealousy and intimidation and all those kinds of things existed, but I never got around to believe that people would lie on me. And they did, and it took me down. But guess what? What did I say yesterday? What was yesterday's area? Rise. I rose back up. I said, hell, if I think I'm going to take that from you, I'm not going to do it. That's a lie. If you don't believe it's a lie, you will eventually find out it's a lie. And they did. They did. But see, sometimes you have to know that you also have to defend yourself. That's natural. Okay? If you continue to let a lie be told on you, if you continue to let other people make decisions for you, if you continue to be in a position of proneness, a position of a mat, a position of you do it for me, you will never be happy with that. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Lamont. Good morning, Tamar. You will find that all these things are going to be devastating to the person you really are. Because first of all, they're not your real natural. They're what you have kind of, what I call, slid into being. Once we get comfortable in our surroundings, we stay there. When you find elderly people that have been in the house for 50 years and they still have the same Singer sewing machine, they still have the old, big tube TV, that all those things, service can't even come in to help them anymore. But all those things, even though they may have a newer TV in front of it, okay, I know, I've been to the houses, so I've seen it. But I'm just saying that you realize that at some point in time, they're still wise about what they have, but they still are in the clutter. And sometimes the clutter disturbs the outlook. It disturbs how we can move through. And so that's what I'm saying to you. Find out what your area is. So anyway, those are pretty much all the things, looking at, are you wise? Are you willing to go in multiple directions that take you away from where you've been before? Can you novice things? Can you be a novice and decide that you can take a new stance today, a new way today? Can you be keen and sharp for yourself instead of just others? Are you nurturing to yourself instead of just others? In terms of being the naturalist, that's my final one. To be the naturalist is just to tell you that I've enjoyed myself today. I've had a good time. I'm excited about this day because I have some discovery to do. I gave myself another project to work on and another one to complete. So put all this to work. Discover the unknown of you today. Figure out that no one is going to do for you what you can do for yourself. And understand that even if they say they're going to do it, believe it only 50%. The other 50 and the other 100, meaning 150%, your 100 and their 50, you got something going. But don't leave it where everything is left, that the 100% stays with them. It's not. It just doesn't always work well. But you've been a great morning pickup for me. I am encouraged to try my unknown. I'm encouraged to really look at being a novice at something. Being sharp and keen and wise, and continue to be the natural person that I am. I want you to have a great day. I love you. I appreciate you. Please hit share of this video. I would appreciate that, so that it would go through your network as well, and right in the thread of what it is that you're getting out of these, because I'm having a good time, and I do appreciate you. And I thank you for, as I said, scrolling down, certainly for stopping to listen to what I had to say, staying if you stayed, and certainly number 4 would be sharing. Have a wonderful day. Love you. Do your unknown. Thank you. Bye-bye.